In our next question, we're going to determine how much time it took for the ball to reach its maximum height. Okay, so that maximum height is right here. We know it's going to be somewhere between 0.8, and we found the next one we had said was at 2.5 seconds. We know that time is somewhere in between there. But what we're going to use to know the maximum height is at that maximum height, the V final is 0. For a split second, its instantaneous velocity is 0. That's going to be the secret of finding that maximum height. Okay? Or sorry, for determining how much time it took. So, acceleration is negative 9.81 meters per second squared. V initial is still 16.3 meters per second, and my final is 0. We're solving for time, okay? Acceleration is equal to V final minus V initial over time. Getting time by itself, we multiply both sides by time, divide both sides by acceleration. Okay, putting in the values that we know, V final is 0 minus V initial, 16.3 meters per second, divided by the acceleration of negative 9.81 meters per second squared. Let's look at the units here. This is meters per second. So the top will come out to be meters per second. We're dividing that by meters per second squared. Meters per second divided by meters per second squared. When you divide by a fraction, you kiss and flip, or you multiply by the reciprocal. So I really have meters per second times second squared over meters. Meters on the top and bottom. Second squared divided by seconds. I'm just going to be left with seconds. That makes sense. Time is in seconds. 0 minus 16.3 is negative 16.3. I'm dividing that by negative 9.1. When I got out my calculator, I got 1.66156 and a bunch of change. In this case, 0 has no significant figures, or a million significant figures. We don't take that into account. But it looks like my final answer can have 3 significant figures. 1.66 seconds. That makes sense. We had guessed it would be between the 0.8 and the 2.5, and it was. So what we used again is that idea that at the top, the speed is instantaneously, or the velocity is instantaneously 0.